What a beautiful day, guys. Look at that sun. From here on in, the days are gonna get longer, right? Because it's toward the end of February right now, and you know, now the days are starting to get longer. You can really feel it toward the end of February, beginning of March. That is, you know, it's just nice because in the winter, like, I mean, well, it's still winter, but like, you know, let's say like you know, Christmas time, New Year's, and all of January, you know, the sun, it sets like over way down there. Now you can see the sun is pretty high in the sky. So what's the time right now? Let me just check. Here, a dog behind me, guys. It's 3 o'clock right now. So you can see it's 3 o'clock. The sun's pretty high in the sky. So that means that, you know, the days are getting longer. Because December and January are really hard months here in Canada because it's just so dark. But, you know, about this time of year, you can start to notice, like, it's starting to get like lighter. The days are starting to get better, longer. The sun is higher in the sky. You know, the sun is not like way down there. It's actually, you know, it's pretty high right now. So that's nice. So from here on in, the days are gonna get longer. From here on out, right? Which one is right? From here on in or from here on out? What do you think? Well, the answer is both. You can just choose whatever you want. Choose whatever one you guys want. Here on in, here on out. They mean the same thing, right? So my question for you today is, do in and out mean the same thing? What do you think the answer is? I'll tell you the answer. The answer is sometimes. In and out mean the same thing sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay, I'll give you some examples. All right, to fill in a form or to fill out a form. You know, if you go to the bank and you're applying for some loan or something, the banker might say, could you fill in this form? Could you fill out this form? Both mean the exact same thing. Okay, so then you give your name and your address and stuff like that, right? You filled in the form. You filled out the form. Okay, those mean the same thing. I should have mentioned from here on in and from here on out mean that it just means from now on. Okay, so from, guys, look at that big house. Man, that's a mansion. Look at that thing. That one's a mansion too, guys. Is that 2 different houses? I don't know. There's 2 back doors. Maybe it's actually 2 houses. Why would they need 2 back doors? I don't know, guys. Well, but that's like 1 balcony. Maybe that's just 1 house, guys. That is insane. That's a huge house. That must be like a 5-6 bedroom house. How would you like to have 5 bedrooms? Guys, it's kind of warm. Hope the ice doesn't break. I'm gonna walk across the canal here so I can actually show you this house a little bit better. Sorry, I was talking your ear off and I'm not even giving you a proper shot of the house. Oh guys, we made it across the canal. Look at that. I didn't fall through the ice. It's a good thing. Alright, so like, just take a look at this house for a second, guys. Like, look at that, 2 back doors. 1 big balcony there on the main floor, and then a big balcony on the top floor. How many bedrooms would there be? Like, depending on what they have in their basement. From this side, it doesn't look like a basement, but this is called a walkout basement, right? Because the hill is on this side here, right? So you'd go down the stairs to your basement, and this is your basement. But man, look at that. How many bedrooms would there be in this house, guys? A lot. I don't know. What would you do with like 6 or 7 bedrooms? What would you do with 6 or 7 bedrooms? What would you do with all that space? I don't know, guys. So anyway, I got distracted. What was I saying? Oh yeah, from here on out, or from here on in, both just means from now on. So when I said, you know, from here on in, the days are getting longer. That means they're gonna get longer, I guess, till June 21st, is it? June 20th? 21st? Then after that, the days start getting shorter again. But nowadays, I'm a happy camper because the days are getting longer, guys. So if you're a happy camper, that means you're just happy about something. Anything, you know. If you, let's say, you could say, oh, they're just building that one, guys. You could say, that's going to be my future house. So I'm a happy camper, you know. Or you could say, my boss gave me the day off work, so I'm a happy camper. Anything that makes you happy can, you know, you could say I'm a happy camper. All right. So just remember, here on out and here on in just means from now on. Maybe not forever. It just means, you know, you're just saying from now till sometime in the future. From here on out, the days are gonna get longer. All right. So I'm not trying to think about June already. I'm just saying from now over the next few months, the days are gonna get longer, days are gonna get brighter. Look at these people playing hockey here. Well, actually, it looks like they're leaving. So, but anyway, guys, that's what it means. Now, out and in, okay, they can mean the same thing in some cases. To fill out a form or to fill in a form. Now, what about to eat out? What does that mean? Let's eat out tonight. That means eat at a restaurant, okay? Go out of your house and eat at a restaurant. But what if you say, let's eat in tonight? That means you stay at home and you eat at home. Okay, so there, in and out have opposite meanings, right? You're not eating out, you're eating in at home. Okay, the same as if you, let's say, guys, it's really busy here today. A lot of people. I'll go this way. Let's say you go out. What's the opposite of going out? If I say, hey, let's go out tonight, what does that mean? It means let's go out to a restaurant or to a club or I don't know, something. Let's go out. The opposite would be let's stay in. Okay? Let's stay in tonight. That means let's stay at home. So again, those are opposite meanings. For people who like to stay at home, they are called homebodies. Okay, not home buddies. That's a mistake. Homebodies. Are you a homebody? I'm a homebody, guys. I like to just stay at home. I never go to clubs. I never go out. Sometimes I sometimes I pick up food from a restaurant. You know, do takeout. That's called takeout food, right? If you call the restaurant, say I'd like some what would you order if you were ordering food? I love Indian food, so usually if I order food to pick up, I order and I call the restaurant, I order the Indian food and then I pick it up. Right? So that's called takeout food. A lot of dogs out here today, guys. Okay, so stay in or go out. What would you rather do? Would you rather stay in or would you rather go out? Can you even hear me, guys? Sometimes I hate dogs. It's so loud. But I do love dogs. Guys, I have a love-hate relationship with dogs. If you have a love-hate relationship with something, it means you know, you love it, but also you hate it sometimes. You know, what do you have a love-hate relationship with? Let me know down in the comments what you have a love-hate relationship. You might have a love-hate relationship with your spouse. Spouse means husband or wife, okay? So, you know, do you have a love-hate relationship? You might love them, but also you kind of hate them. Maybe they annoy you. Or you could have a love-hate relationship with your boss or with your job. Okay, it could either be with a thing or a person or an animal. Okay, or you could say with like a season, like winter. You could say, I have a love-hate relationship with winter. Maybe you love going skiing or snowboarding, or maybe you love playing hockey, right? But maybe you hate cold weather. So you kind of love it, but you kind of hate it. You have a love-hate relationship with winter. Okay, so you could have a love-hate relationship with anything. Okay, so let me know, would you rather stay in or would you rather go out? Are you a homebody or an outgoing person? I think that would be the opposite of homebody. Homebody or social, there's a word for that, I can't remember. Party animal. You could maybe call someone if someone loves going to parties, you can call them a party animal. Are you a party animal? I'm definitely not a party animal, guys. So look at that nice rink. Doesn't look like it's melting yet, so that's good. I won't fall through the ice here, just walking on the canal. Nice canal here. All right, so what are some other examples of this out versus in type of thing? Now, let me tell you a sentence and you tell me what it means, okay? 1 in 10 people drive a car. What would that sentence mean? 1 in 10 people drive a car. And what if I would say 1 out of 10 people drive a car? Is there any difference in meaning? No, there's not. They mean the same thing. Okay? And we're talking about a ratio. Okay, 1 in 10 men have beards. Probably wrong. I'm just making up these statistics, guys. 1 in 10 men have beards. What do you think? Maybe more than that. 1 in 5? Would you say 1 in 5 men have beards? I got a little beard going on. Stubble. If it's not a really like a big beard, just kind of like this, you call it like stubble. Because I just, you know, I shave like once a week. I don't waste too much time shaving, guys. So, you know, that number, it's a fraction. Okay, 1 over 5 or 1 over 10, whatever number you're talking about, right? So if you want to describe the look of that fraction, you'd say 1 over 5. But when you're talking normally in English, you know, if you just want to give the statistic, the ratio, you'd say 1 in 5 or 1 out of 5. Now, is there a difference between those? 1 in 5, 1 out of 5? I don't think so. They would mean the same thing. And we're talking about the ratio. We're not talking about the whole group of people. Okay? Like if I say 1 in 5 Canadians has a beard. Men. Well, actually these days women have, according to our culture these days, our society says that women can also have beards. Are you a woman with a beard? Smash that like button if you are a woman with a beard. I guess these days anybody can do anything, right? Be whatever you want to be. That's what our society tells us these days. If you want to be a woman with a big bushy beard, I guess that's normal these days. Bushy means big, Like if your beard looks kind of like a bush, you know, you could describe it as a bushy beard. Okay, so yeah, so about ratios, that's a common way we describe ratios. Now, you know, if the ratio is kind of a low ratio, like one out of every 4, you could say 1 out of every 4, but an easier way to say that would just be a quarter, right? 1 over 4 is a quarter, right? Is it a quarter of Canadians has 1/4 of Canadians has a beard. Has a beard. You know, sometimes those words, even native English speakers get confused what verb to put it in singular or plural. 1, I think because you're starting with the word 1, it needs to be a singular verb. 1 out of 5 Canadians has a beard. But because we get confused because the second word is plural, like 1 out of 5 Canadians have a lot of people would say that, 1 out of 5 Canadians have a beard. Now, it's not a huge deal. There are other mistakes that are way more important. This isn't a very important mistake, but if you're taking a grammar test or something, just try to learn these. The verb has to match the subject, like each. Is it each one have or each one has? You know, just do some research on these. You can search for subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. I think you'll come up with a whole bunch of results on Google. So yeah, so if the ratio is low, let's say 1 out of every 1 Canadian has a beard, that would mean all Canadians, right? Every Canadian, 100%. Wouldn't that be great if everyone had a beard? That'd be cool. So 1 out of 1. You don't say 1 out of 1, you say all or every. 1 out of 2. What's 1 out of 2? Half. What's 1 out of 3? A third. 1 out of 4, a quarter. 1 out of 5, a fifth. 1 out of 6, a sixth. It's a very hard word for people to pronounce. Sixth. Can you say that word? A sixth or sixths. Like let's say the first number isn't 1, let's say it's 2. 2 sixths. Probably a nightmare for you to say, right? 2 sixths of Canadians have a beard. 2 sixths. Sixths. Can you do that? Say s and then th. You have to do it kind of quickly. Sixths. Sixths. But 2 sixths could be reduced to 1/3, right? 2 sixths is the same amount as 1/3, right? You just say them differently. If you're, you know, you'd never see a number like 2 sixths, but you might see like 2 sevenths, right? That's a number that's, you can't really reduce that. It's actually has to be that 2 sevenths, right? So you could say 2 sevenths of Canadians drive a truck. Right? Do you drive a truck? A lot of people here in Alberta own a truck. I would say that could be pretty accurate, actually. You could say maybe like 2 sevenths of Albertans own a truck. I would say that would be a fairly accurate statistic. 2 sevenths of Canadians own a truck, right? So, or you could say 2 and 7. 2 and 7 Canadians, or 2 and 7 Albertans own a truck. 2 out of 7 Albertans own a truck. Okay, so there, in and out mean the same thing. Mean the same thing. We're talking about a ratio, the ratio. We're not saying there are 7 people living in Alberta. There are more than 7 people, right? You've seen already how many people have walked past me. Okay, So, you know, we're giving the ratio of Albertans. 2/7 or 2 in 7 Albertans, or 2 out of 7 Albertans own a truck. There's different ways to say that, right? So guys, those are some ways that in and out can mean the same thing or different things depending on the context, right? It's weird. Like, fill in and fill out mean the same thing, but eat in and eat out mean opposite things. Do you know what innie means? And outie? What am I talking about? Right? If you have an innie, do you have an innie? Or do you have an outie? What am I talking about there? It's a very specific thing. It doesn't mean other things, it means one specific thing. Do you have an innie or do you have an outie? If you know this, your English is really advanced, okay? So this means we're talking about a person's belly button. Your belly button is also called your navel. Your navel. It's the part in your stomach where you used to be attached to your mother when you were a baby. Did you know that? You used to be attached to your mother through the umbilical cord. That pipe, that cord that gives you all the food and the nutrients, that's called the umbilical cord. And when you were born, the doctors snipped it to snip something, right? If you cut something with scissors, you snip it. Not very nice of them. They severed you violently from your mother. You probably didn't want it, but the doctor said, it's time for you to grow up. You gotta sever the cord. To sever means to break, to permanently, like, you know, like if you sever a relationship, if you sever it, that means you permanently cut the relationship off. You could say, I severed my relationship, you know, with whoever. If you don't want that relationship anymore, you sever it. Okay, so the doctors snipped. The doctors severed your connection to your mother by snipping the umbilical cord. Okay. So, and then you were left up with a place on your stomach called your navel, or the common word is belly button. Okay, that's just the normal word, belly button. Okay, so belly button, your belly button shape, it either, on some people it goes in, on some people it sticks out. So you can ask someone, do you have an innie or an outie? What do you guys have? Do you have an innie or an outie? I think it's more common for an innie, I think. I don't really think about this very much. I'm just thinking about it for the first time now. What do you think? What the ratio? Okay, give me the ratio. If you're uncomfortable telling me if you have an innie or an outie, that's okay. You don't have to disclose your personal secrets to me, but let me know the ratio of people that you think would have an innie or an outie. Like, for just, you know, my first impression would be that, like, probably I'm thinking like maybe 4/5 of people would have an innie. What do you think? Is that right? Because some people have an outie, but it's not that I don't think it's that common. Like, you know, like, I don't know what I'm talking about here, guys. I think when women are pregnant, their belly button, does it become an outie? Because sometimes if you see pictures of pregnant women, it's their belly button looks kind of like an outie. Maybe I'm just making that up. I don't know. I don't usually look at pictures of pregnant women. That's just the first kind of impression that came to my mind. Let me know, am I right on that? When women are pregnant, does their belly button stick out even if before it was in? I don't know these things, guys. I'm just a simple guy. I don't study belly buttons. It's not my area of interest. My area of interest is to teach you English. So I'm kind of wading beyond my area of expertise here. If you go beyond your area of expertise, that means you're kind of out of that. Like if I think about me for teaching English, that's my area of expertise. I don't know much about belly buttons. So now I'm talking about belly buttons. So I'm kind of wading beyond my area of expertise. If you wade, that means you walk in water. So if you go from if you go from the shallow end of the swimming pool to the deep end of the swimming pool, you're wading. You wade in water, right? You could say I was at the beach and I waded 10 meters into the ocean, and then I got too scared of sharks, so I then came back. Right? So then you wade into the water. So right now I'm wading beyond my area of expertise because I don't know much about belly buttons. Why do some belly buttons become an innie and some an outie? Do you know? I have no idea. Okay. I would say just my first impression would be that probably most belly buttons are an innie, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you know. So let me know the right answer in the comments. But my feeling is that maybe 4/5 of people in the world have an innie, not an outie. But maybe 1/5 would have an outie. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's a good example of how to use fractions, right? I could say 4 in every 5 people have an innie. One in every 5, or I could say 1 out of every 5 people have an outie. Okay, so there are some good examples, I think, of how the word in and out can be either the same or opposite. In the case of a belly button, they're opposite, right? Innie and outie mean different things, opposite things. So guys, it's enough of my belly button ramblings. Give you another shot of the nice sun here and the beautiful frozen canal with the snow. You can see the tracks of rabbits or ducks or whatever go through here, and people. So yeah, anyway guys, it's a beautiful day out here, and like I said, from here on in the days are gonna get longer, so I'm really happy about that. I'm a happy camper. So let me know about you guys. What's going on in your life these days? Are you a happy camper? Those dogs are not making me a happy camper. Why can't people just control their animals? Just control your dogs. I don't know, guys. It's one of my pet peeves when people don't control their pets out in public, and it just it causes a disturbance for everybody. Or if a dog is barking nonstop. I used to live in a house I used to rent a room in a house with some people. Those people had dogs, and they had 2 dogs. And when the people would be at work, they would be at work all the day. The husband and wife worked, all day. And I was going to university at that time, but I would get back from classes early before they got home, and they would always lock the dogs up in their bedroom. All day, the dogs would just be up in their bedroom, and the dogs would just be barking all day long. All day, the dogs would be barking. And then when they would come home, then the dogs would, I don't know, they would stop barking for the most part, but all day long the dogs were barking. What's the point in having a dog if you're gonna like lock the dog up in the bedroom all day and the dog is just gonna be barking all day? And it just disturbs other people because you can hear it, right? Like if there's a dog living in the house next to you and the dog's barking all the time, you can hear that and it's just annoying. So I wouldn't have the main reason I wouldn't have a dog is just because I don't want to annoy people. It's annoying. Barking dogs are really, really annoying. I hate the sound of dogs barking. But if it's a nice dog, you know, and it's just like, you can keep it under good control, that's great. You know, if the dog's running around chasing people or, you know, scaring people, like, you know, because sometimes dogs are like kind of scary. Like if it's a big dog comes running at you, you're not sure if the dog is gonna like bite you, or some people don't keep their dogs on leashes. They just let their dogs run around. I don't know. That's one of my pet peeves, guys. Pet peeve means something that annoys you, something that bothers you. Does it bother you? Is that one of your pet peeves? Is it your pet peeve if people don't control their pets? They don't keep their pets under good control. The dog's just barking and running around. Is that your pet peeve? It's one of my pet peeves, guys. So anyway, let me know your thoughts about this lesson. There are a lot of examples probably about this where in and out can mean the same thing sometimes and opposite things sometimes. So I've already been making this video for about half an hour. So enough of my rambling. I'll stop talking your ear off. If you talk someone's ear off, that means you just talk, you talk too much, right? I'm just talking. I'm yapping away. Yapping means like you're talking, like a dog barking. You can say the dog is yapping. Dog's just yapping away. That's my pet peeve. Maybe your pet peeve is if I'm yapping away. You can say, Mark, just end the video already. All right, I will do that. I'll stop annoying you guys. I'll end the video, but as always, I love you so much. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy wherever you are. From here in beautiful Alberta, Canada, I will wish you a great day, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.